we are still on Jenkins. This time around, we want to look at NodeJS, right? We want to look at running a Jenkins job, a pipeline job, using the Node package manager. So one of the first things we are going to do is to install, right? We want to install npm install npm, right? Node package manager and NodeJS, NodeJS, right? On our terminal, okay? So after installing this, there's an important step that we need to take to ensure that we can successfully back up our artifacts on Nexus. So it is important. So what we need to do is to either run this npm, right? npm login, okay? Can either run npm login or, okay, let me comment this, npm login, or we run npm add user, right? This is very important, right? So we can run either of these two, okay? npm login or npm add user. So after installing npm and Node.js on the terminal, as we've done, okay, want to go ahead and run either of these commands, okay? So if I run this, it asks for a username, right? If you are doing this for the first time, you create a username, right? In my own case, I've done this before. So I want to say username, I want to be consistent. Then it asks for a password. Then it tells me to enter an email address. I want to be consistent. Okay. Okay, then it tells me an email has been sent to me with an OTP, which I'll just grab. So you want to ensure you do all of this before you proceed to creating a pipeline on Jenkins so that it doesn't fail at any point in time. So I'm logged in, okay? So I can go ahead and look for Jenkins, right? I have my SonarQube running, okay? I have my Nexus also running, okay? So let's do this, okay? So now let me go to Jenkins and, okay. Is this my application? Okay, this is it. Okay, so I want to go to Jenkins. So let's create a pipeline project. Let's call this NodeJS pipeline. Okay, let's say this is NodeJS pipeline. Okay, so I want this to be a pipeline project. Okay to that. So let's build our pipeline. Okay, so this is going to be a scripted pipeline. All right, so I want to start with Node as usual. Open curly bracket, close it. Okay, I go inside the curly brackets, then I specify each of my stages. Okay, Now, how is Node.js different from Maven? Okay, they are different platforms. So their commands are also different, right? When we have in Maven, right, to do a build, we do nvn install. Here, we do npm install, okay? So what else? If we need to do mvn sonar in Maven, right? Here we do mvn run sonar, okay? mvn sonar as is to Maven. mvn run sonar is to npm, okay? That's Node.js. So what else can we look at? When we look at mvn deploy in Maven, here we look at npm publish, okay? So, and to run the application on Node.js, that's npm, you do npm space start. Then you want to add and ampersand, right? The sign. So let's go as we proceed. We get to look at how it goes, right? So let's proceed. So we'll look at our stage, right? Remember, this is a scripted pipeline. So we want to clone from GitHub, clone from GitHub. Want to clone from GitHub, okay. GitHub, right? GitHub. So that will be the first step, first stage, I mean. Open curly bracket, close it, okay? So next stage will be, what do we want to do? We want to do a build, right? Open curly bracket and close it. Next stage, what do we want to do? We want to do code quality analysis. We'll keep this as simple as possible. Code quality analysis, okay? Open curly bracket and close it. Oh, let me expand the screen. Okay. Code quality analysis, right? Now, we click on enter. So the next stage, right, we want to do our, what do we want to do? We want to do backup artifacts, right? We open our curly bracket and we close it. Then finally, we want to deploy, okay? Want to deploy, right? So we open our curly bracket and we close it. Now, these are the stages that we are running, okay? But this time around, we are working with Node.js. Okay, the first thing we want to do, right? We want to come down here to set up a pipeline syntax. Okay, that's our pipeline syntax. So what do we want to do? We want to check out from version control, which is from GitHub. Okay, so let's copy the repository. So this is the repository we want to use. This is the repository, my Node app, okay? So I want to come in here to paste that repository. It's going to prompt for authentication. So I want to enter to get authenticated. Okay. So what else do I want to do? Branches. My branch here is main. So I make this blank. I specify main. So I want to generate the pipeline script. Okay. I copy this. Okay. So what do I want to do? I want to come in here. Let's scroll up. Okay. Clone from GitHub. This is what I need to clone from GitHub. Okay. So that's done. So let's scroll down. Okay. So let's come here. I'll move up a bit. I have to make this bold so that it will be legible. Okay, so the next step is to build, right? So to build in Node.js, in the NPM, right? Node Package Manager, we run sh, right? We want to sh, then we put npm Node Package Manager install, okay? So that's what we need to do a build, okay? So what next? We want to do code quality analysis. We want to run sh, right? We want to run, what do we want to run? I just want us to establish this, then we'll go to SonarQube to do the setup, appropriate setup, okay? And okay, so for code quality analysis, we want to run npm run sonar, okay? Run sonar. So what else? To back up artifacts, what do we want to do? Enter. We want to run sh npm publish. Okay. Npm publish. Then finally, to deploy, there's a script. Okay, we'll come back to this. So we either run sh, right? Sh, we either run sh npm, npm starts. And okay, so this is how we do our deploy. Npm starts and okay, so that's how we do our deploy. So this is about all. Let me reduce it a bit since we've entered everything. Okay, I just want everything to come on the page. Okay, so we have everything here. So clone, build, code quality analysis, backup artifacts, and deploy. Okay, so now, so this is just a simple pipeline script, just for us to have an understanding of how the Node Package Manager works, right, on Jenkins. So now that we've established all of this, now this is straightforward from GitHub, right? Now, this is also very straightforward, right? Because it's just like we do mvn install. Now, when it gets to code quality analysis, we need to ensure we set up appropriately. When we want to back up artifacts, we want to ensure that we set up appropriately as well, okay? And this as well, so it's going to be based on the outputs here that will determine this, okay? So this and this require some attention. Now, if we cast our mind back to Maven, right? We realize that to be able to set this up, this and this, we need to modify the pom.xml. Now, for this Node.js, right, there will be no pom.xml. but we'll look at other files that will be relevant for us to modify. Okay, now this is the Node.js package. Okay, this is the Node.js package. If we scroll down, we see this file, sonar-project.js, right? If you open it, you see what we have here, right? So this is SonarQube, right? This is where SonarQube details are expected to be entered, right? We need to put our SonarQube URL here, right? And we come down here, want to ensure you have your user login and the password. This for Sonar, it corresponds, so no modification is required. So what I've done is to comment this out. So this, if we wanted to use an option of what's this code? If you want to use the code instead of the password, right? If you want to use the code instead of the password, we can generate a code from SonarQube. Then we use that. So, but we are not using that, so I'm commenting it out. So if you were to use this, you would have commented this and this out, okay? So that this becomes active. So that's that. So let's go and confirm our SonarQube IP address, okay? So I want to copy my SonarQube IP address. Let's go to AWS, SonarQube. Let's check SonarQube. I want to copy the private IP address. Copy the private IP address. I've copied that. That's for code SonarQube. So let's go to, let's come here. I want to clear this out so that I can put the IP address. Okay, so I've done this. What else do I need to do on this page? Nothing else. This is strictly for SonarQube. Okay, so I want to commit my changes. Okay, it seems there's no change. It's the same IP address that I added before, so that's fine. Since there's no change, there's nothing to commit, you can see. So that's fine. Okay, so I want to go to a different file. Okay, so the next file I want to visit is package.json. Okay, so this is the next file I want to visit, package.json. So in here, I want to check out Nexus. Okay, so in Nexus, I want to, okay, let's go back to the queue. So we'll come to settings, right? Click on repositories. I want to create a repository. This time around is npm hosted and not Maven 2 hosted because I'm now on npm, right? So I click on this, npm hosted. I want to say, let's call this NodeJS dash repository. Let me call this repository. Okay. So this NodeJS repository, I want to leave it at default. Okay, I want to allow redeploy. Then I create, okay, NodeJS repository. So I create. So unlike Maven, where we have to create snapshot and release separately, so we just need to create this, right? It's just this. So NodeJS repository. I want to copy this. So once I copy that, Control C, I want to go paste it in here, right? So I want to paste it on line 7, right? I want to replace what we have here so that I can have my IP address and the string, right? I want to have the entire string. So I want to go and put my private IP address for Nexus, okay? That's my private IP address for Nexus. So I copy my private IP address for Nexus. and I want to overwrite the public IP address that I have here, so that when they start come, I don't have to modify this file. So I scroll down. Is there anything else to modify? Okay, nothing else to modify. I scroll down and I commit my change, right? So remember with Maven, right, we had to go to settings.xml. But in case of this, there is no settings.xml to modify. So what we need to go and modify is a file called .npmrc, okay? We come in here, remember, we had set up an email address at first. So I want to be consistent with the email address I set up on the account. I want to set authentication as true, okay? I want to get this, right? I want to get this. This is my password, right? The combination of my username and password. I want to get it, okay? For Nexus, I want to get it. So how do I get this? I want to check it on base 64, okay? I want to check it on base 64, okay? So how do I go about it? So I need to come to my command line, okay? You type echo, okay? Echo -n, okay? You want to type your admin, right? That's your username, admin. Let me put this in quotes, but it doesn't matter, even if it's not in quotes, to still work. Admin, right? I want to put column. What's your password to Nexus? Admin 123, admin 123, whatever it is. If you have changed it, it doesn't matter. So I want to close the quotation. Then I want to pipe it. Then I want to specify open SSL, right? I want to specify open SSL, then base 64. When I do this, right, I click enter, it generates this code, right? So this code is my username and password combined, right? So it has converted this to a code, right? This a level of encryption. So I want to come in here. So let me expand this a bit. I want to come in here and overwrite this. I want to overwrite that. Okay. I want to overwrite this. Did I copy? I think I pasted it. Let me copy again. I want to make sure I overwrite it. Copy. Okay. I want to come on here and paste it here. How am I unable to paste? I copied. Okay. I copy and let me paste, Control V. Okay. Pasted that. Oh no. No wonder. I was wondering. So I've copied, so I want to paste. Okay, I've pasted it. Okay, so always authenticate. Okay, true. Okay, so that's fine. So I want to save, but I believe because it is my combination, so there was actually no change. So I just want to cancel because what I had here remains the same. Nothing has changed, right? And I want to set this, comment this out, okay? And I want to comment that out, then commit changes, okay? So now that I've done this, what else do I need to do? So instead of setting up on settings.xml, as we would have, if we had something on Maven, but here we come to update this .npmrc file, okay? So once we do this, we are done. So let's take a look at everything we modified. We came here at first, right? To Sonar project, we updated it with our SonarQube private IP address here and the port number, whatever your port number is, you could have changed it. Okay, so what next? We came to this file, okay? We came to package.json to modify this line 7, right? With the Nexus repo, then went further to change the IP address to private, okay? So then finally, in lieu of settings.xml, we came in here to modify our .npmrc, okay? So those are the things we did. Now that we've done all of this, I believe we should be able to go on a ride, okay? So I want to click on apply, then save. So let's do a build, okay? But before then, let me expand this so I can see, let me reduce the font so we can see the build as it runs, okay? So we want to do a build now. Click on build now. Let's see how it goes. So those are the steps, okay? Okay. Code quality analysis in progress. Okay. Backup artifacts completed. Let's see. Success. So deploy success. Okay. So that's it. We've been able to have a successful build using the Node Package Manager. Thank you. See you in another session.